Hello YouTube viewers, Sri Tips here, and I've had a request. Someone wanted to see how much gold gets accumulated here in my temporary waste flask. And so what we're going to try to do today is see if we can get the solution poured off of here and get in there and get that gold out of the bottom of this flask and count it up and see exactly what we got going on in there. So we're going to do that for you today. What I'll do is I'll pour this solution off and let the gold stay in the bottom of the flask down here, and then we'll you see it? Kind of hard to see, I guess. And then we'll get in there and dissolve all that with some aqua regia. Filter it out, get any crap that's in there out of it, and then precipitate with the SMB and come up with some kind of yield on the amount of gold that gets added to my temporary waste container here. All right, what I'm going to do is set this in the back here, and I'm going to pull up the stock pot that's been settling for about 3 days now, I guess. No air bubbling through it, but it's full. What I need to do here with this thing is get this siphoned off into our waste treatment bucket. Okay, what we're going to do here, show you the waste treatment bucket. It's just a 5-gallon bucket full of angle iron. And what I do is I put all my copper solutions down into that bucket down there. I add a piece of angle iron. And then what we'll do is we're going to siphon off the solution from our stock pot. Look at that, I put the date on there. This thing's been going since 15 October of 2018. So I'm going to have to get that busy, get that thing refined here coming up. Got a tube of water here, and I'm going to put my thumb over one end, stick the other end in my stock pot here, and we're going to transfer the water, or transfer the copper solution out of our stock pot down here into our waste treatment bucket. In the waste treatment bucket, the copper will cement out onto the iron as harmless metallic copper. All right, here's my waste treatment bucket. I've got a lid here with a hole cut in the top that I put on it. And then over here, I've got an air pump that I use, get it around here, to bubble air through this thing and help the reaction. The air bubbling in there will create movement and help circulate the solution to aid the reaction of the copper cementing out of the solution onto the iron. I'm going to turn our fan on, look down into our bucket here. You can see there's still some copper coil left in there, which is what we want to see. That's a little bit of copper tubing that I use to cement the precious metals out of my waste solutions. And I've got copper left in here, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to bring our temporary container up here to the front, and I'm going to pour this waste solution into my stock pot now. Gold we got left in our solution, or in our bottle rather. Here you can see the gold in the bottom of the container a little bit better against that white background. Now what I'm going to do is a little bit of hydrochloric acid to this. Just enough to cover the bottom of the flask here. Maybe 100 milliliters. Set my stock pot down out of the way. I usually bubble air through this as well. But for right now, I'm not going to do that because it'll be cranking out some SMB, SO2 gas fumes if I do that. So I'm just going to set it down here out of the way for now. And then what we're going to do is I've got some concentrated nitric acid here, just a touch in the bottom of this jar. I add this to our container. I'm going to try to get the gold down at the bottom of this flask to dissolve for us. And it looks like our gold is already starting to dissolve in there. Won't be all that much, maybe a half a gram. Stick this up on the heat now and apply some heat so we can get this gold to dissolve. Took about 15 minutes. Got everything to go in solution here. I'll pull it down off the heat, let it cool down, and we'll filter it and precipitate the pure gold out of that solution. Okay, now we're going to filter our solution. It's all dissolved, as you can see. Got a filter flask here. Got a little rubber seal between the filter, or between the funnel and the flask. Got a number 3 slow flow filter here. I'm going to put that in to our flask. Alright, we're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and pour our solution here through the filter. Even though it's real nice and clear, we're still going to try to filter out any junk that might be in there. Okay, now we're going to transfer the solution into a 600 milliliter beaker here. Precipitate out pure gold here with some sodium metabisulfite. Here we go. That should do it. All right, we'll let this settle, and then we'll get our metal. Took about a half hour to settle. I'm going to take it down here, pour off the waste solution in my stock pot. And we'll get the rest of the gold here into a filter. This into a filter paper here. It's not going to be ultra high purity. Alright, now I'm going to give it a quick rinse with some hydrochloric acid here. transfer the paper and the gold down into this melt dish. I'm going to stick this thing over here on the melt table. I'm going to melt it up to a little button. See if we can get a yield on it. Here the footage is speeded up 8 times normal speed. The paper in there will burn away completely, leaving no traces. And in a minute you'll see me sprinkle some borax onto the dish. That's because there was some tiny balls of gold on the edges of that dish. The borax acts as a flux. A flux means flow. And what it'll do is it'll cause them little beads to drift down into the bottom of the dish and join the central mass of gold down in the bottom of the dish there. Here you'll see me add some more borax as the bead solidifies there. That helps create a nice uniform surface to the bead. Here's our little pure gold button out of the waste container. Came out looking pretty good. Gonna get a weight on it now. Holy cow, man, I didn't expect it to be that much. It's 4.3 grams. It's probably 995 purity, 995 parts per thousand. What I'm gonna do now, I don't have enough room to stamp the whole thing on there, but I'm just gonna stamp 3 on it. Let's see here. SREE. Now we'll put it back on the scale over here. See what we got for a weight. 4.3 grams. That'll wrap it up for this experiment. I recovered the gold that was in the temporary waste flask that I use to pour off the waste from my gold refining solutions. And in the bottom of that flask, I got a 4.3 gram pure gold button out of it. I stamped SRE on the top of it. So we'll put this up on my eBay store for bids. Starting bid will be 99 cents. It will be a one-day auction. And that'll conclude the video. Thanks for watching.